She's the creative force behind Abdah Emporium, known for their scents and their creams and their artisan scents. And we had the pleasure of collaborating with them, and we had the pleasure of making and their box for them. Unfortunately, she's not on video. But if we had a chance, we would show you the box. But we will. We'll when we post this video. When we post this podcast, we'll have her on the show. We'll also edit the box and get some nice pictures and see how we made the box. And she has very stunning products, so we're gonna deep dive into her story today. So, Naseerah, I'd like to welcome you to the podcast. How are you, ma'am?
Thank you. I'm doing pretty well today. Busy as per usual. But yeah, thank you so much for inviting me and for giving me a chance to chat a little bit about um, you guys' contribution to my brand and brand story.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, Abda Emporium, I read a little about Abda Emporium, and my question was, ma'am, that Abda, can you give me a little background about Abda Emporium and when you started it and how it came to be?
So yeah, I started out the Emporium 11 years ago. And back then, it wasn't even Abda Emporium. I had a completely different name. I didn't actually name it Abda Emporium until 2015, after my first child was born. And it was kind of a big rebrand. It was definitely a shift in my approach to the business itself. Prior to that, it wasn't something that I was really taking seriously. It was kind of like something I did on a whim. In a fit of teenage boredom, I started this business in high school. I was a senior in high school, and it was originally just a way for me to, one, be creative, and two, kind of like start from scratch with figuring out what was triggering my skin issues. Like I had really bad problems with eczema. And there was just one summer where it had gotten so atrocious that I said I was going to cut out everything. Like I cut out all my store bought soaps, lotions, perfumes, everything had to go. And I just started making stuff, so that I knew exactly what was in it and I knew exactly what my possible triggers could be. And of course, these days I don't make everything. Now I have a lot more experience and a lot more knowledge about cosmetic formulation. And so I can kind of decide, from a consumer's perspective, what other brands and companies I want to support and which products work for me, as well as the ability myself to make some things that I really enjoy making. The last 5 or 6 years or so, what I have really lent into is fragrances, perfumes, more specifically. Soap will always be my first artisan love, but perfumes have definitely tied for first place the last 5 or 6 years. Um, and that's with myself and with my clients and customers.
Ma'am, that's such an inspiring and such a story that tells you the challenges you faced, and while you faced those challenges, you made the best of a bad situation that you went through, and you turned it into something that you would like to do, as well as something that is monetary profitable to you. So that's very, very good. And you know what they call floating on, just hanging on to a silver lining? It means you're trying to make the best out of a bad situation, and the bad situation you were in was your eczema and your challenges that you faced with your personal health, and you turn it into a business that is very successful, and not only successful, but it gives you the
Thank you.
opportunity to do absolutely. You're welcome. Not only successful, but it gives you the opportunity to do something that's that you like to do, rather than being monetary beneficial. And I think a business that is something, I think the main challenge for us, for everybody, for humans, is to find the the balance between something you like and and something and the monetary benefit that you get from doing that. So you have to have a fine line, but fine a level between what you love,
Yeah.
what the monetary benefit is, and see where you stand over there. Now,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a little bit more about the challenges you faced in crafting your products. And while you tell me about that, can you also tell me about what your best product is? Because I think the soaps are already going to be there. Are you working on something new?
Yeah.
Or tell us about that.
Um, so 2025 is the year of nothing new for me. Um, I am focusing a lot on selling.
Hello, Abda.
So sorry,
Sorry, I
kiddos
cut
in
off.
the
Yeah, I
background.
heard your
But
kid in the back.
always I work from home, so they're always around. But um, I was saying 2025 is the year of nothing new for me. So basically, I want to focus on selling the things that I already make versus
Mhm.
coming up with new things. I think it's important to create new things, especially as a creative person. You have to keep those juices kind of flowing. But I also think that from a business perspective, you have to learn how to commit to a line and commit to a product that you um, are invested in, um, because you can't convince someone to purchase something from you if you yourself don't believe in it, if you yourself think that there's always something new to move on to. You have to have some belief that these are staples that can continue to be popular. Um, right now, my most sold products are definitely my perfumes, which is very interesting to me because it's actually a shift. So I lived in Michigan for 8 or 9 years, right? And when I lived in Michigan, all I sold was soap. Like soap was my biggest seller for sure. And that's why I focused a lot on it. I perfected my formulation in Michigan. I, really honed in on like what fragrances worked in soaps. That was my main focus when I was in Michigan. And then I moved to Chicago almost 2 years ago, and the market is definitely different. What people mostly buy from me here is perfumes, which has just been really interesting to see and experience. And you always have to adjust. You have to pivot as a business owner.
That's really interesting. You're I already call you Abda for I don't know what reason.
Yes. Yeah, people always ask me though, like, "Oh, is Abda your name?" And I'm like, "No, it's not my name." But yeah.
I read about your about me section in your business, and I read that you were really proud of that you are of the Muslim faith, of the Islamic faith, and
Yes.
you orient your business around that,
Yeah.
and you're proud of that, of your struggle. Maybe you associate being a minority in a country where maybe which is a struggle in some way, shape, or form, being a minority.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
do you associate other things of your product with the Islamic faith as well? Maybe because I've done pilgrimage to Mecca myself, done pilgrimage to Medina, and yeah, and I've because the thing that I get from your brand is the because I've never tried it. I don't know how your fragrances smell like, but the
Yeah.
the imagination I have is that is it related to something of something you would smell in Mecca, or those special Islamic perfumes that don't have alcohol in it? Is it something like that?
It's something that actually like I think about a lot. Um, but Islam for me, as far as like the way that it inspires the way that I do business and the way that I create products, is a couple different layers. Um, it inspires me a lot in the way that I present. Um, so for instance, like I am not on camera now. And that's for religious reasons. I just choose, like, as a Muslim woman, not um to have pictures of myself um online or or recorded, right? I am a faceless brand on my social media. I talk a lot about this with clients and partners and business partners and things like that. And there's always that conversation because it is a really big thing to say for a lot of people that, you know, if they can't see the face behind a brand, well, then how are you selling products? How do people know who you are? And I think that's a very, you know, limiting perspective. You know, for however long humanity has existed, we didn't have pictures like that. We didn't have social media like that. And yet people were able to be successful. And I think it takes creativity and ingenuity to be able to market a product, especially a product that people cannot experience truly except in person in that way. So not only am I a faceless brand online, I'm also selling fragrance, which is something that people only really get a true grasp of in person. So, you know, the way that I show up online is definitely influenced by Islam and by my religion. And then also like the way that I do business with people, the level of honesty and transparency that I offer customers and clients, I think is really important to me. And something that I appreciate about all of the partners that I've made with, you know, suppliers and manufacturers and retail partners and things like that, those are things that we all connect on, and that we all value. And that's important to me as a maker, that I'm able to tell customers and clients, hey, it's not just me, but I also look for this in suppliers and manufacturers. You know, that level of transparency, that level of honesty, that level of fairness, that I provide you is also something that I want for myself, you know.
Nice. I believe the font, the theme, the images, and the logo of your brand also portrays that it is related. It is of the Islamic faith, and I think that's very important, especially your name Abda. I know that,
Yes, yes.
and the of course, yes, the way you're not showing your face. Some people don't show their face because they're shy, but I'm sure you're not camera
Yeah,
shy. It's because
yeah.
it's for
I
religious
just
reasons.
prefer it. Yeah,
And I think
yeah.
that's a very good idea. I don't think there's nothing wrong with associating religion with your brand. We've made boxes for Christian Catholic brands as
Hmm.
well, and they
Hmm.
associate the Catholic religion into their brand, into their logo, into their whole
Yeah,
or whatever the essence might have,
yeah.
the whole
I
vibe.
think authenticity is important in brand, in like brand creation. And I think people are drawn to brands that represent an authentic personality. You know, I try not to pretend to be someone I'm not. You know, and I think that helps with building trust with a client base. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. It does help building trust. There's a market for that too. There's a market for everything. There's a market for people who like let's say Chick-fil-A. It's a Catholic oriented
yeah,
restaurant. They're closed Sundays and
yeah.
they're they never say that.
They're known for what they're known for, and you know,
Right.
people purchase for them from them for that reason. Yeah,
They're known for that for sure, but I
yeah.
don't think we'll ever see a Bible verse on a chick, but you know it gives that essence of
Yeah, they still manage to, like, in their messaging and their branding, they still manage to incorporate so many of those elements, to where it's obvious if you're looking for it, you know.
they do. They do. Now, let's come to the packaging side of Abba Emporium. Now, what kind of boxes did you get from us, and how was the service? Who was your agent? Wait, it was Michelle. I know who she was. She's actually one of our
Yeah.
best agents and one of our best senior account managers here at the firm. And she's very good at what she does, and I'm glad. And tell me a little bit about the box that we made. Unfortunately, you can't see the box, but tell us about what product the box was for, and how was the box, and how was the customer service, and did we do a good job with your product?
Yes. So actually that it is a really good story that I love to tell people all the time. Like I get a lot of questions and compliments on this packaging.
Thank you.
You have no
Thank
idea. Like every single time I post pictures of these boxes, I get people in my DMs, especially on Instagram, other business owners who are like, "Where do you get your boxes?" So these were boxes for my soaps. And for years, I packaged my soaps in like white wrapping paper, a ribbon, and a wax seal. But it was very, very time consuming to wrap each individual soap and tie a ribbon and hand stamp them, you know? And so I was looking for a different solution and I wanted to keep the original aesthetic. I really wanted to keep the ribbon. I wanted to keep the white textured feeling of the wrapping paper. I still wanted that luxe aesthetic without all of the labor intensive, you know, effort it was taking me to get through packaging these products, this soap. So I called and I talked to and I emailed so many different manufacturers who told me that they could not create these boxes for me, that the design was like impossible, that they were not going to be able to produce these for me. And finally, Michelle reached out to me and I was like, well, I have a design and I really just need someone to work with me on this and manufacture these. And Michelle was amazing. She was so lovely, and I mean, there was a mishap in the printing of the boxes, and she completely she made it happen for me. There was a misprint. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I cannot accept these boxes this way. And she was like, let me talk to the printers and we will fix this. We will make this work. And, thankfully things worked out. The boxes, they came and I was so ecstatic. They were exactly what I wanted. The paper, the ribbon, everything was perfect. They were the exact vision that I had in mind.
Wow.
And I'm waiting to this day to reorder them. But yeah, I get tons of compliments like when I do markets and things. That's the first thing people see. I have them displayed like in my booths and stuff, and that's always a compliment I get from people, especially like around like the holiday season. People are like, "Oh, it's already a gift wrapped."
Nice. Thank you. Thank you so much for the compliment. I'm gonna let Michelle know, and I'll also show her the podcast. Uh,
Yes, for sure.
she was very, I'm glad to hear that she was very thorough and very understanding, and her service was great in the manufacturing of your box. Please do let us know if you have more boxes to be made, and we would gladly
Yes.
make them for you because we want more of your business and we want you to be
Yeah.
successful. Want you to do more sales, and we want you to give us more sales. So it's a like,
Yeah.
and
A win-win.
of course, that's how it works. So uh, that's all I wanted to as far as the packaging was concerned. Please let me know if again, let me know if you need anything. I'll also send you an email, and in the email I will also you to the packaging experts. Sorry, not the packaging expert, but my coworker, my CEO of the company, Mr. Hamza, Mr. Hamza Hussein, and he's the CEO of Half Price Packaging. He would love to just get in touch with you and just
Yeah.
give a shout
Yeah.
out because this project is something that I started, and we're trying to get out and make a name
Yeah.
for ourselves in the podcast world as well. So I
Yeah.
think very good for us. So Abda, where is your? You don't have a brick and mortar store, do you, or is it just
I
online?
don't.
It's on, and
So
where?
right now, I mostly sell online and I sell like in person at markets and things like that.
Mm,
But I do have retail partners, independent retail partners. That's really important to me. Not super big box stores. And these are places in our communities that are small, locally owned, family owned, women owned, minority owned shops and boutiques and hotels and things like that, that I work with who sell my product along so many other wonderful brands products. And so that's mostly how I sell. One day there
okay.
might be a brick and mortar.
about these things. Let's say I'm a soap manufacturer. I've always been intrigued by this.
Mhm.
So if you're a soap manufacturer, you're a perfume manufacturer, do you go to these businesses and you just get the self shelf space from them, or do you or do you buy the shelf space, or how does that work? Or do you pay them a certain
Mhm.
amount of money, or how
So
does that
it
work?
depends. Depends. Sometimes shops reach out and they're just purchasing product wholesale. I do have a couple white label clients where basically I produce the product, but it has all of their branding on it. So I am just the manufacturer of the actual product, but their branding is on all of the packaging. So I have like two white label clients. And then for wholesale clients, mostly they are brick and mortar and online boutiques and shops. So they purchase the product from me wholesale and then they resell it. And then I also have, hmm? I'm
And then
sorry.
you have your own retail on your website.
Right. Yeah, and then I have my own retail website. And then a couple clients I have, we are like on a consignment basis. So basically, they pay me out as product sales. So I drop off product intermittently, like every month or so, or every 3 months or so. And they pay me as product sales.
Okay, so Nasira, tell me a little bit about your backstory. How many people own the company, and who owns do you have a co-owner with you? And can you tell me a little bit about your backstory when you started? And I know you had in the beginning you told me that you use when you started, but tell us when did you start Abda Emporium, and do you have a partner in this? And tell a little bit about her as well, or him.
So no, it is actually just me, myself, and I. I am a sole proprietorship. It's just me. I manufacture, I package, I ship, I market. I am social media manager, CFO. I do it all. I wear all the hats. And sometimes it is a lot. I won't lie. I think being in business 10 years, you learn a lot, and you definitely learn when it's time to outsource certain things. Recently, I've outsourced a lot of like photography. Before, I was doing all of my own photography for years. But it's just me. I manufacture all of my products. That's when I say, like, when people, talk about, the professionalism in a product, I, always make it a point to mention how possible it is for small makers who are on their lonesome to do this. And it takes partners like Half Parts Packaging to make that happen, because when people look at my packaging, when they see the presentation, they don't think. They honestly believe that I have a whole team somewhere designing all of this, somewhere printing,
You do
and
have a whole team. We're here with you.
right.
We're here with you.
Right. Right. And so I do tell people, I'm like, before it was just me, but now through, with the support of so many of my clients and customers, I can afford now to outsource some of that work, and leave it to experts.
That's good. As far as marketing is concerned, we also have a sister company called Maxoff.ca
Mm.
out of Canada. It's one of our sister companies, and falls under our corporate umbrella. I can also give you information for that, and one of our guys can take care of that if you want services for Abda as far as digital marketing is concerned, Instagram, all those other social platforms. That's great, Abda, about that your story is your sole proprietorship and people, you feel like a one-man army. You are a one-man army, but don't worry, we're here with you.
Yeah.
We'll always be on your side. And if you need some consultation for digital marketing as well, we can get you a team that'll support you with that side as well. So, what kind of I just want to ask you, what kind of what kind of advice would you give to a sole proprietor who is an aspiring sole proprietor, aspiring to be a sole proprietor, and wanting to start their business and see how much they can achieve. What kind of advice would you want to give them? And if they want to be in your industry, if they're in the cosmetic
Mm.
industry specifically, maybe.
Say that my advice is twofold always. I think that not every creative calling needs to be monetized. I think if you love to do something, if you are an artist, your art doesn't necessarily need to always be sold. So that's the first thing to consider. Um, yes, you love to do this thing, but do you love to sell it? That's a question that you should ask yourself. um, and then after you've determined whether or not you are willing to sell something, sell your art, um, the next thing I would advise is to find something about actually doing business that you love. I think people oftentimes they make a great product, they make amazing art, and then they try to sell it and they discover that they absolutely hate selling. They hate business. And that's totally valid. It is absolutely understandable. It is a very tough thing being a sole proprietor, being a business person all by yourself, doing all of the things, wearing all of the hats. It's exhausting. And it doesn't necessarily get easier, it just gets more manageable sometimes. And thankfully, 11 years in, I love actually doing business. Like, I love selling, I love the marketing, I love thinking about the logistics of everything. I love being in control of like so many of the small nitty gritty aspects of being a business owner. And that's what I think keeps me going. And that's what I think motivates a lot of people in the long term versus being like a quick flash. You decided to do this, and then you discover that you really dislike it. And now you have to close up shop. If you're in it for the long haul, you have to consider what about this you actually like.
That's very interesting that you said that if you love what you do and some people don't like to sell, uh loving
Mm.
what they do. So sometimes I understand that some people don't want to sell, but they want to create. And selling is a different thing in and of itself. Selling requires a lot of other skills too, like marketing and whatnot. And selling is so important. But some people can't sell. Some people can only create. That's why they need other venues to explore. They need other people to help them think if they're not able to do it. But I think when you create something that you love, you do get a motivation and to you do get
Share
motivated
it. Yeah.
to sell because you're like you're making something that you love and you
Yeah.
do sort of infatuation with the product. That's why you'll get the motivation to sell. But that does not
Yeah.
guarantee the skills necessary to required to sell. Maybe a sales guy can sell something better than the creator itself.
Themselves.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
I've
we
actually seen that in like, I've actually seen that play out in markets. Um, you know, I do a lot of like in person events and stuff. And sometimes I'll have people in booths next to me who they make amazing products, but they just do not sell them because they don't know how. Like, they don't know how to approach customers, they don't know how to draw people in, they don't know how to display the product that they're selling in a way that is appealing to people. And it breaks my heart sometimes to watch people walk past a product that's so amazing and all that's missing is presentation or presence or just good customer service.
it does get in the way, and I'm glad that if you understand that, the sooner the better. I'm I sell on the side as well. I actually try to get as many clients as I can on board with our packaging services. I do cold calls. I get in touch with old clients. I get in touch with current clients, and I like packaging. I like to sell packaging. I'm learning on a day-to-day basis as well. but I'm really infatuated by packaging, and I believe it gives me a channel to be creative as well. Because when I look at the boxes that we make, we have a lot of boxes over here. I can show you some of the companies we've worked with. Look at this.
Yeah.
This box we got. This we made a box for this company. Uh,
That's so pretty.
that's
What
a.
product is that for?
You'll see something inside of it. It's this inside, and
Like
then
an insert?
I put it
Oh.
together, and then there's a notebook inside. I think
Ah.
this. I don't know. I think we made it. I'm not sure, but these are the boxes we made. This is for a tea company we made. You see the
Mm,
on top over here,
very pretty.
and there's a box that we made over here for this. It
Mm,
says Abigail Adam, bring out the goddess in you. I don't know what that is, but it seems like something cosmetic related, maybe.
yeah. Or maybe jewelry. Oh, I forgot to mention that you guys also did my labels for perfume boxes. Not the boxes themselves, but the labels, because I was having trouble printing them myself. And I was over it. I was over trying to do it myself. And again, learning to outsource where necessary. Um, but I had this project where I was trying to introduce 10 milliliter travel size perfume oils. And I had the boxes, but no labels for the boxes. Um, and you guys were able to print those for me and they turned out amazing. Again, I get tons of compliments on these labels and people just cannot believe that it's just me over here.
Well, that it's good to know that you're very successful with your sales. I believe packaging is very important in sales. Packaging reflects a lot. It's the first impression you get, and also it's very important for the safety of the product. Uh,
Yeah.
your story is very inspiring because you are a business owner. Also, you are the mother of three kids, I believe, because I read that in your about section that you have three
Yep.
kids, and um, your story in your section is very inspiring. I'm, it gives me a chance to, like I said, I work in packaging myself, and I love to look at the packaging and the boxes we made for the companies and that gives me the inspiration to do something myself one day, maybe start something on the side, and maybe
Mhm.
product. And I don't know what it is, but when I look at these boxes, gives me a lot of it inspires me in ways and gives me ideas in my mind to be
Mhm.
creative.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I do. Is there anything you wanna so is there anything you wanna show to your clients?
Let me see if I is it possible to share videos or screens here
Yeah, of course.
in the chat?
If you go over there, you'll be able to share their screen and the video. Maybe there's a section to do it. There's a shared uh button down there.
Okay, so let me see if I can find a photo of some boxes of the boxes recently that I've taken. Okay, yeah. So I have some photos here that let me see if I can share.
You get two options. You share screen or share presentation. I believe you hit share screen.
Hmm. Where's the button to share screen?
It's right underneath my screen, I believe. But it's fine if you're not able to find it. I'm definitely gonna put the boxes edited inside your this podcast.
Okay. Yes. For sure. I can send you some photos. I have a ton of them now.
Looking at
And
a box in your I'm looking at some cool boxes that you have, and it looks great. I see the ribbon and I see the foiling in the middle.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's
So the wax stamps are an addition that I make. But the boxes themselves, like the with the ribbon and all of that, that was from Half Price Packaging.
Perfect. It looks great. It looks great. And Abda, I wanted to ask you, where are you based out of?
So right now I am based out of Chicago, Illinois,
Okay.
in the U.S.
Right.
I Yep.
That's great. I'm glad that you're and I believe you moved to Chicago when?
So I moved back actually about almost 2 years ago. I'm originally from Chicago, born and raised. And then I moved to Michigan for 8 years after I got married, and now I'm back in Chicago. So it's good to be home.
That's great. That's great. I'm so glad that you're here in Chicago. I've been to Chicago a couple of times, and I think Chicago is a great place. It's pretty windy in Chicago, and I think
Yes.
I've been to Chicago once or twice, and it's a very great city. I believe if you want to start some if you I wouldn't be surprised if you have your own brick and mortar in the future. It's gonna be great, and I wish you the best of luck.
Inshallah.
And I want to just
Thank you.
close this out, and I just want to extend a great thank you for you to come to the podcast, and I want you to I just want to just extend a great thank you and say thank you to take the time out to come to the show. Um, the last thing I want to say, and please, one last thing I just want to introduce is that our we're revamping our company. We're starting a lot of other new things. We're getting a lot of discounted prices for Valentine's Day and other holidays as well. St. Patrick's Day as well. Please let us know if you want anything. We have free design support. Michelle can also give you design support and
Mhm.
be more creative with the box. And other than that, I just want to close out and let you know that we loved working with you, and we wish we continuously work with you in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for chit chatting with me for a little bit and asking me a little bit about what I do.
Absolutely, Miss Hutcherson. Do you? I will be posting this episode soon. This is a new project, and
Hmm.
I'll
I
hope.
will be sure to share it. I think a lot of like of my fellow small businesses follow me on Instagram, and they're always excited to chat business. So this will be very interesting, I think, for them to know
Perfect.
about.
Perfect. Please look out for an email from me. I will be our CEO, Mr. Hamza Hussein, and he would be reaching out to you as well. And hopefully, we'll get to do this very soon, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Hutcherson. Hope you
Thank
have an amazing day. Have a great day, and take care, ma'am.
you too. Thank you. Have a
Thank you.
great rest of your day. Bye.